Okay, hello again everybody, this is Castronadri and I'm here with you in the part 2 of the Django tutorial for writing a web application, creating a web application. In the next, and not next actually, in the previous part, you saw that we built our own, we ran our own server actually, and on the desired port, it's still running here in this terminal, and you can see the results here, what's processing. And we went through a lot of cool stuff in creating our web application. Now that we have created the Gili, notice that Gili is the name of the whole project. So if you want to create web applications, we have to create it within the Gili project. Okay, so to do that, to create the web applications, we use again, like always, we use the manage.py. Then we type in start app, and we name the app, for example, app, or anything else. It can just be anything. Not app is not a good name, so we can name it web, just web. Yeah, web does it fine. Now our app is created. So we open up a code editor, and inside the code editor, you see there's the web app, actually the application named app, which we created. Here we can see the models, the views, as you can see, all of them, they're blank usually because we haven't still created anything. And the apps.py. Okay, one important part here, when we open our Gili, the main project, and we open the setting.py file, there are a lot of settings that can be changed or modified here, and they're all written in Python, which is really great. Okay, now these are the installed apps. We created an app named web. Okay, so to add this app to our main project, we have to call it here. We have to call the app. So we tell them that, okay, we also want to include the web application here. Then we save our setting.py file. Simple. Okay, now that we included our web application inside the project, the web application, what we have to do is we have to make the migrations. Actually, I told you it's really important, so we stop the server there for a minute, use python manage.py, make migrations. Actually, first we have to make migrations. No change detected. Okay, well, we run the server, and we can see the server is running. It's still running on the desired port. Okay, now I wanted to introduce you to a great part of the Django web application. Well, it's the admin panel. You just write down the web address, then we add admin to the end. Write it down, yes. And you see, here it needs a username and password, and we haven't created a username, neither a password yet. Okay, so we just stop the server here. We do python manage.py, create super user. Okay. Oh, so it's yes, like this, yes. So to create the super user, I use this. We write down the default user email address, which is blah blah at blah blah .com. Doesn't matter. And the password setup Oh, the password is too short. Okay. I hope this time it works. Yes, and it has been created successfully. So again, we run the server in the desired port. So as you see, we type in the username here and the password, and we try to log in. Okay, here is the Django administration panel. Actually, it's a raw administration panel. You can see the groups, the users, and stuff like that here, which is really fun. It's really fun stuff. Okay, now that we have created our super user and our web server is also running, we start with interacting with the web application, with the app we just created. Okay, so we go inside the web app and we open the models.py. Now I invite you to go through the internet and search do a complete search about MVC architecture, how it works. It's model view controller, and I suggest that you take a good look and before you start creating your models, you have a good background on this. And another thing that I suggest here is that it's the best way, to learn using Django is by going through the documentations. You just click here inside the website, installing Django, write your first Django app, and here you go. It states everything about creating, where to start, how to do it, the commands that we did ourselves, start projects, the file it creates, the server, the run server command, the ports, and stuff like that. Everything is just written here. But here in this, actually in the documentation, it has started with creating a view. But what we do is we start with creating a model first. Let's see, it should be in the second part. Writing your first Django app or two. And yes, here are how the models created. Okay, so here there's a comment saying create your models here. Okay, so we just follow the instruction. I just copy whatever, not copy, I actually write it according to the type that it has suggested itself. So we create a new model. Suppose we want to make how to say, like a movie web application, and web application for rating movies, suggesting movies, even downloading movies if possible, and watching your movies online. So we start our first model. We name it the movie model. Movie models.model, and it's an object, as you can see, named movie. So we can have multiple instances of this, not instance, multiple like parts of this object. So one of them can be the movie name. So it can be a character field type. With a max length of 200. Yes, and we can have a publication date too, just like the question, but it's the movie's publication date. I should use underline here. And this part that would be wrong. I missed this. Now models dot the date time field is what we need, and date published. Okay, so now we have actually created our first model with which has two parts. The model's name, it's a movie model actually which has two parts: the movie name and the publication date. Created our movie model. We want to add this movie model to our site administration so we can manage this model here. You can see how in a bit. So to do so, we go to our admin.py. Actually, it models here. To do so, first we import the model here from models, import movie, yes, and in this part we use the following code. To include our movie. We save it. Now we're going here to refresh this administration site. Let's see if it has worked or not. Wait, oh no. And the reason is we haven't made the migrations yet. So we stop the server. Manage.py, make migrations, yes. Migrate. Okay, the migrations have been made. Now we run the server and try. Yes, here you can see the web application, and here is the movie class. We have 0 movies, so no movies have yet been registered on this website. Go back to web application. We can, for example, create a movie here. Let's add this. So we added 2 fields, 2 parts for the movie model. First, the movie name, which right here, The Godfather, for example, since because it's my favorite movie. Date published, I don't know, it's just today and now. So after doing this, we click on save. So yes, now when we go to the movies, here we have a movie object, which is The Godfather. You can just manage all the models from this administration website, which is really cool.